Let's talk about Monday. Normally, we'll only have one game to talk about, but it is the first week. It's week one, so there's always two Monday night football games. The first one, we've got the Houston Texans visiting the New Orleans Saints. Saints minus 7. Although it does look like as of right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, the Texans are juiced to minus 120. We have a total of 53.5. Hard to imagine the Texans keeping up their end of the deal. But maybe not. They do have Deshaun Watson. They've got a lot of weapons. Will Fuller's healthy. DeAndre Hopkins. Maybe not. Paulie, what's your take on this game? What do you think this is going?
Definitely the over.
There you go. Saints at home, baby.
Definitely. Like, this is the greatest show on turf. Houston is going to be one of the most explosive, high-scoring offenses this year. Like, when healthy, Deshaun Watson's an MVP candidate. They have, probably the most talented receiver, but definitely one of the top 5 receivers and very good weapons all around it. They just added Duke Johnson. They did lose, what's his name? Their running back that was there forever. That wasn't very good. Houston running back.
Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller. But then they just also traded for Carlos Hyde.
Who they just got, right? And like Carlos, come on, Carlos
Yes.
fucking Hyde.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, like, Carlos Hyde, Lamar Miller, is there really a difference? Like, I think Duke Johnson's a nice update. They just traded away Jadavon Clowney, one of their better defensive players. Like, interested. They also made other moves. I think they added Laramie Tunsil, a very good offensive lineman. I think they're in a win now mode, and they're going to be a very good team. I expect them to make the playoffs. I expect the Saints to make the playoffs. I think this is two of the, better teams all around. I do respect both these defenses. But I just think, like, these are the two, like, supreme offenses, talented players. Kamara on turf, Mike Thomas, Drew Brees, Watson. Like, I envision very, very high scoring shootout.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense, man. I think high-powered offenses. Houston lost Lamar Miller. Is that really that big of a deal? I really don't think it is. I mean, when's the last time Lamar Miller's done anything relevant? And on top of that, I don't think it's going to be a game where the Texans are going to be relying on running backs because I think Drew Brees and Kamara and the Saints are going to come out swinging, and I think they're going to put up a lot of points, and Texas is going to have to throw to keep up. I definitely think that the over has a lot of value, and to be honest, I'll take the Saints with the over. I'll go Drew Brees at home. A lot of times when the favorite covers big spread, usually the game does go over because they all, one team has to kind of put it to them. I can see this game being close all game, and then the Saints winning by like 10 or 14 because Watson has to throw the ball 80 times, and at the end gets a little tired, makes a couple bad decisions, and we get a pick 6 or something out of the deal. And on the game-winning drive, it's fucking a 7-point game and a pick 6, and boom, get the cover.
Yep.
So
and Drew Brees is just not likely to make those mistakes.
Exactly. He's just less likely to do it.
He's a vet at home. Like I'm with that. I think I'd stay away from that side. Like I think 7's the right number.
Yeah, it does seem legit. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think this game could go to the moon in terms of scoring. Like next year, like the NFL took like a step similar to baseball. It was a lot more high scoring last year, and like these are certain teams that have that DNA that could put up that kind of game.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
That's why they picked it for the spot.
Oh yeah,
like they selected these games for a reason.
Speaking of game selection, the second game from Monday Night Football, none other than the star of the Hard Knock show. We got the Denver Broncos visiting the Oakland Raiders. It's currently a pick'em. Oakland Raiders getting a lot of hype because of the Hard Knock show, Antonio Brown acquisition, a couple other moves. Meanwhile, the Denver Broncos are a team that nobody talks about ever because teams that aren't good offensively are just not exciting, right? And so you don't haven't heard a word. Nobody talks about Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller got. I'm sorry, not Lamar Miller. What's his name? Brandon Marshall got cut from the Raiders. And I'm sitting here like, I thought he was
Brandon
on the freaking
Marshall.
Broncos. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Brandon Marshall,
Yeah.
the receiver
No,
that
no,
was on the
no, no, no,
Jets.
no, 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 the linebacker.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought he was.
Yes.
I'm sitting here like he wasn't with the Broncos. You know why I didn't know that? Because nobody ever fucking talks about the Broncos. Um,
Yeah.
Talk to me about the game too.
Oakland is actually my favorite bet of the whole weekend. Like, um, I'm like very, very bullish on the Raiders. Like, I love what like I believe in John Gruden. I think he's just like a natural born leader. And he came in, he got rid of the guys he didn't want, even though some of them were talented. And he like, is building a team that like, will fit his system. And like I just I don't think the Broncos are going to be very good except for at home on defense. Like I just a lot of these pieces are question marks on the Broncos. You got Emmanuel Sanders returning from fucking Achilles injury. You got a new quarterback. You got the same question marks with who's going to get the shares in the backfield. Like Cortland Sutton, is that really a receiver that you like are confident is like going to be good? Like I don't see the Broncos doing much. The Raiders, on the other hand, like you know, I have like a couple theories about their team and like the way that they with the certain players they showed on the show, like you know Josh Jacobs, like go watch his highlight film when you get a chance. Wow, the kid returned multiple punts and kicks for touchdowns, but like in two of like the biggest games against like LSU and I forget the second team, those are like teams against similar talent. It wasn't like against like FAU. Um, Very, very impressive catching the ball. Was the number one graded running back in the draft. The Raiders kind of like jumped up to go get him. And like he's the clear, starting running back one for them. They've talked about using Jalen Richard in the pass game like they have in the past. So maybe he's a 2.5 down back, not like a full 3 down, but they do have a good O line. They brought in Richie Incognito, and they didn't show this kid Jacobs on Hard Knocks at all. Like, and I just think that's for a reason. Like, I think Gruden didn't want to like expose what he had in this kid. And, like, I'm looking for the next Alvin Kamara kind of talent that like, out of nowhere. And I think this is a candidate, maybe not. I texted like one of my friends in the industry about him just because we were talking about it before the show. And he goes, don't draft him. And like, I thought that was funny, but like a lot of times you start to see like, this is a contrarian like theory, like that this kid's going to be good and he's going to help change like the dynamic of the team. And, just because he's like, a shark in the industry doesn't mean that he just didn't consider that, like, so I was kind of glad that he said no, but I think that it's possible that the Raiders offense makes like a gigantic move forward. Like I think Carr is very, very good. I think Antonio Brown is the best receiver in the NFL talent wise. And I think like, similar to like when Randy Moss went to the Patriots and just put up like monster numbers, I think he's going to have a monster year statistically because there's just not many other good mouths there. I think this kid Jacobs becomes better. Like nowadays, like, young running backs are just immediately like the best in the league. And I think this kid could be that. I like the O-line. I like the defense. I like the attitude. And they're at home. I'm just very confident they win this game and, start the process like similar to the Browns last year. Maybe they're 3 seasons away, but I think the process really starts this first game.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I'm on board with the Raiders at home. Broncos.
I would take like the Raiders -10 plus lines. Like I think they might win 27-0.
Wow, that's bold. That's bold. I do think it's gonna be. I do think the Denver Broncos. I expect the Denver Broncos defense to be pretty good. So I think like I don't expect this game to be like super high scoring. I'm not necessarily saying like the under because it's at 43. It's already kind of low, so I don't know if there's a ton of value there. But I wouldn't be surprised if this game was a little tighter, a little bit more grinded out. But with that said, I still think the Raiders get the win. I'm with you.